Can you even hear me like this?
Yeah, actually, you
Oh,
sound
yeah.
fine. You don't even
Oh.
sound muffled.
We got you
yeah.
loud and clear, Batman.
Oh, I love this. Welcome to Frolic Harder, and welcome to Halloween Part 1.
Boo.
That's what we're talking about. That's the energy we need.
Hell yeah. My name is Batman. I am joined today by my co-host and head coach extraordinaire, Ted Lasso.
Hello, everybody.
Say something motivational.
You just got to believe. Everybody
There
just
you go.
got to believe.
There you go. And we are joined by producer Cow.
Moo and moo moo.
Very well. Very well.
Very well done.
Halloween stuff is happening. Happy
Yes, it
Halloween,
is.
everyone. And this is the special Halloween episode of Frolic Harder. I just realized why I'm so orange right now.
Hey,
go.
there we go.
Oh yeah, I still
Less
haven't
orange,
figured out
you're-
how to do color correct stuff.
Don't worry about it.
You look good now.
Don't
You
say
look good.
topics like that. All right.
Next
Here we go.
week's.
What do we have in store today?
We're gonna
Coach.
talk about the origin of a certain Halloween prop, if you will. Let's start with a little history lesson here. No, you know what? No, we're gonna save that for last. I'm pulling an audible. We're gonna talk about some things that are gonna blow your mind about Halloween potentially. It's going to lead into a story about a certain someone.
Is there audibles in football?
There is audibles in football, and football is life. So let's get into it. Did you know that the word witch comes from the Old English word for Wicca, meaning a wise woman?
I did know that.
You know that? You did?
No.
Practice Wicca for like a year.
Did you?
Oh yeah, he did.
Not well, but yeah, tried to.
Did you get super into it when we went to New Orleans?
I bought like a couple books, but I was already into it prior to that. That just kind of like fed the beast.
I like that. We got some experience on our hands here. Being Wiccan was actually originally really respected. So maybe the witches of Salem should have, got on that train, but they didn't, and they're dead. Let's go on to the next one. The world's heaviest jack-o'-lantern weighed in at, do you have any guesses? How many
1,500
pounds?
Wait,
1,500.
jack-o'-lantern like actually cut up?
Like a jack-o'-lantern cut up jack-o'-lantern.
900.
Matt?
Yeah.
Batman?
1,500.
Matt, you're closer. It's 2,350.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, it was at the 47th Safeway World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Offs in Half Moon Bay, California, in October 12th, 2020. I've had enough of that thing. Moving on, in Ireland, where Halloween originated, people celebrated by setting off fireworks. They also ate barnbrack, which was a traditional fruitcake, and lit bonfires to celebrate the holiday.
That
So they were
sounds
just like,
horrible.
yeah, it's like the Irish 4th of July, it sounds like. Barbecuing, fireworks, probably guns shooting off. I don't know. Irish people,
I think
beer.
that's pretty exclusive to us.
Yeah, probably. The average
USA.
The average Halloween will cost your average American about $100 a year. The National Retail Federation estimated that we, as an American people, will spend about $102.74 every single year on Halloween items, costumes, candy, decorations, that kind of thing. It's a big deal here. People go all out. I'm sure you have. Batman.
Like look at us right now.
Look at us. Like we're dressed up. We are dressed up for this.
I did good not spending money on Halloween, and then I had a kid, and then it all down the drain.
And now you're just producer cow.
I'm not the only cow in this house.
Are moving on.
Nice.
In Germany, it's tradition for people to hide their knives on Halloween night. The goal was to prevent returning spirits from getting injured. So they were looking out for their ghost family and friends. How thoughtful. We would
That's
never.
Some funny logic,
right? Yeah. I mean, there's some weird Halloween traditions out there. People originally carved turnips instead of pumpkins. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But jack-o'-lanterns are believed to have originated in Ireland in the 19th century. They're actually started as carved turnips instead of pumpkins, and we're gonna talk about why that is in my story later on. Americans used to celebrate the holiday by sending Halloween cards. In the early 1900s, before the telephone was invented, Halloween cards were about as popular as Christmas cards. I can't ever remember getting a Halloween card outside of like a school event or anything.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
That's not a thing here. That's get that corn out of my face. A man named Stephen Clark holds the record for the world's fastest pumpkin carving time. Any idea how fast he did your average jack-o'-lantern carving?
What's the average jack-o'-lantern size? Though?
I would say like the 2 eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I think that is your standard jack-o'-lantern.
Okay.
I give it 30 seconds.
All right, John's in at 30 seconds. Matt?
I'm going to go 50 seconds.
John is pretty close. 24.03 seconds. This man carved a jack-o'-lantern. He broke his own record of 54 seconds.
With like a knife or like a saw, like an electric saw?
I would assume a knife. I think that's how I would assume that would go. I don't ever see anybody chainsaw carving a jack-o'-lantern. So
fast.
No, and maybe a samurai sword would be cool. Probably like whip something up real quick. There's a reason why black and orange are associated with Halloween. Orange signals the harvest of autumn, and black is the symbol of darkness and acts as a reminder that Halloween was a festival marked by the boundaries between life and death. So it's metal. Throw up those horns, Matt. That's right. And producer Moo. Scarecrows symbolize the ancient agriculture roots of the holiday. That's right. Greek farmers created the first scarecrows. They look like people to protect their crops. Crows always messed with their crops. Scarecrows. There you go. That's how it works. Did you know what kind of food a pumpkin is?
A gourd.
It is a fruit.
I guess that makes sense. It has
seeds on the inside.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. I thought the same thing you guys did until I researched this. And a pumpkin is a fruit, and my mind has been blown.
Well, does the gourd fall in the fruit like world?
I think so. I don't know. I would assume so, because if one is like a squash, would be two, right?
Yeah, it has seeds.
Halloween originated from an ancient Celtic festival. The origins of Halloween date back 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which was celebrated on October 31st on the eve of the new year. The Celts believed that the dead returned to Earth that night, and so they lit bonfires and donned costumes to ward off the ghosts. It's like the opposite of what the standard Irish folks were doing with the knives to like protect, like they hid their knives to protect the people coming back. And these guys are like, nah, we're just going to put on some scary masks to tell you to F off.
I like that.
I do too. I like that. I like that timeline better. I want to live in that one. Irish immigrants brought Halloween to the U.S. during the mid-1800s. A flood of Irish immigrants fled to the potato famine in Ireland, straight to the United States of Mother Effing America, bringing the tradition of Halloween with them. So we didn't even have it here. It wasn't an American thing. It was all just the Irish being Irish doing Irish things. The most lit jack-o'-lanterns on display in one place is 30,581.
The most lit?
In one place, yes.
What are they drinking on?
Just a bunch of lit jack-o'-lanterns. No, it's a town called Keene in New Hampshire. It's a Guinness World Record, actually. So it's recognized as like a real thing. Crazy, man.
That's cool.
Trick-or-treating has existed since the medieval times. So you had like knights and kings and queens and
I wonder what their costumes look like.
All these people. Trick-or-treating was inspired by the medieval English tradition of souling, which involved children going door to door on All Souls Day, offering prayers for residents' deceased loved ones in exchange for food. So as we pray for your family that's dead, you feed us. Trick-or-treating kind of came from that. So trick-or-treating is also believed to have inspired in another place, or started in another place as well. In the Middle Ages, people began practicing a tradition known as mumming, in which they dressed up as ghouls and ghosts and demons and went door to door performing songs and scenes from plays in exchange for food and drinks. So
that sounds horrible.
Yeah, I would much rather. I'm not a religious man, and I'd just rather pray for your family.
I'd much rather you'd shoot me in the face.
It's just, you know what? Is there a box C? I'll check that one. Just take me out back and put me down. Candy wasn't given out to trick-or-treaters until like the 1950s. Halloween simply just wouldn't be the same without that stuff, man. King-size candy bars, whoever sends those out in your neighborhood when you were a kid, you're the real MVP. Just
shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
Spanish Hills, baby.
Suburban rich people. In the 50s, candy makers began to promote their candy on Halloween, so it basically just became a commercialized thing where they're just like, yeah, hey, we can make money off this thing here. So Of course they did. Top 5 Halloween costumes. Let's see if you can name them. I'm going to give you 3 strikes.
3 strikes? All
3
right,
strikes because it's only a top 5.
When is this list compiled?
This is data from 2020 was the last time this was done.
2020. All
2 years
right,
ago.
let's see.
Let me specify these are the top 5 adult costumes.
Okay. Sexy nurse.
Strike 1.
Damn, Batman.
Yes, Batman is on the list.
Let's see. Devil. Is a devil on there?
Devil's not on there.
Mother. Harley Quinn.
Nope. All right, that's your strikes. You done did it.
Damn it.
I'm impressed you got any on this list, to be honest. You got Batman. That was pretty good. I didn't see that coming. Coming from 5 down to 1, the number not fifth most what's it called? The word
just worn?
No, just the most popular, I guess. I don't know. This is just whatever. Is a ghost. People still just dressed up as your standard ghost.
Fucking Charlie Brown.
Like, super lame. Number 4 you got is Batman. I was like, I'm surprised. Look at you over there, Batman.
Should
Look
be
at
higher.
you. It should be higher. Number 3, cat. People just doing your standard cat, just with the whiskers on their face and the tail. I don't know, man.
Be original. Be a cow.
Do something better. Be a cow. Yeah.
Boo.
Number 2 coming in is a vampire. You see a lot of those every year. It's pretty standard. And number 1, you should have got this, is a witch. Pretty common costume. Skittles still ranked number 1 candy in America as a Halloween candy specifically. Followed up by Reese's Cups and Starburst.
What are you doing candy for?
I just did. There's just 3. There's just that. That's it. That's it.
They're not the order I have them in. When's your list from? Mine's from this year.
2020.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah. We don't even need to talk about candy corn. That stuff's trash. Get that out of my face.
I love candy corn. It's just pure sugar.
No, it's just pure wax. It's just nasty, man.
Wax sugar is delicious.
I am a firm believer that candy corn can go straight to hell.
Especially the little pumpkin
Continue.
ones.
Continuing. Candy corn used to be called chicken feed. Just so because it's trash. So yeah, that was my last candy fact for you. There is actually a fear of Halloween called Samhainophobia. Many people enjoy bracing the spooky spirit of Halloween, but for those weak ones out there, it's not all good and fun. There's some fear. People that suffer from Samhainophobia or fear of Halloween, according to Newsweek, this article came from, learned that the origins of Halloween, basically you can guess, comes from the Samhain festival in the old Gaelic days. So that's where the fear of Halloween originates from. There are a couple states in the United States where the night before Halloween is known as Mischief Night, which I think we probably took part in.
Yeah, we invented Mischief Night.
It's really popular in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, so it's more of an East Coast thing with Michigan sprinkled in. But Michigan, they call it Devil's Night, so it's a little bit.
I like
different.
that better.
I like Devil's Night. I'd go out on Devil's Night and party. One of the weird things that I found about Halloween is silly string is banned in Hollywood on Halloween. Of all things, no silly string. If you're caught with it, $1,000 fine. So don't bring your silly string to
stuff's super flammable.
Yeah, and California is always on fire, so keep that out of here. The song Monster Mash was actually banned in the UK originally. This was I didn't know that. So the BBC banned it in 1962 because they thought it was too morbid. I like just do the Monster Mash. I don't get it, but they released it again in 1973, and they're like, you know what? Maybe we were a little too harsh on that. We're gonna backpedal a little bit. Weak. Harry Houdini died on Halloween in 1926. I don't know if you knew that. His appendix burst.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's man, you're Harry Houdini. You've escaped death so many times, and your little appendix in your body is like, you're my bitch. I don't know, man. It's a sad way to go after the career he had. Boo. World's longest haunted house, 3,564 feet long, located in Lewisburg, Ohio. It's also 86 feet underground.
Ohio.
This is something that I'm sad I didn't know. The mask worn by Michael Myers is just a William Shatner mask. I actually didn't know that. There was a production designer, Tommy Lee Wallace, picked up the mask in a Hollywood Boulevard magic shop for $2, and it was just your regular William Shatner mask. Spray painted it white. That's Michael Myers. Didn't know that.
So good.
Hocus Pocus was originally going to be a horror movie. Didn't know if you knew that. That would have been a really cool horror. I would love to see like like an alternative take on this movie. It's like, here's the Disney Hocus Pocus, but here's, like Christopher Nolan's Hocus Pocus.
I want the same cast though.
I do too. I would love to see that. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be totally down to see what kind of twist they would put on that. The most successful horror film of all time is the movie It, Stephen King, the 2017 version of It. Made $700 million, just north of that. So it's a lot of money, man. More money than I need. And to close this list out, jack-o'-lanterns were inspired by an Irish legend. The name jack-o'-lantern is rooted in the Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack. And this is his story.
Yay!
All right.
Stingy Jack.
All right. So I don't know do you guys know the legend of Stingy Jack? Have either of you heard about this before?
No.
Good. Because this is like the most obscure like thing that is relevant to Halloween that I could find. It's pretty cool. So according to an 1836 edition of the Dublin Penny Journal, this man named Jack helped an old man who was later revealed to be an angel from heaven. And to reward him, the angel granted Jack 3 wishes. Well, Jack's an asshole. So he just used the wishes to tell people to stop sitting in his chair, don't take my wood, and leave my cobbling tools alone. That's literally the 3 wishes, and he just blew them out the window like that.
What a waste.
What a waste. So the angel was like super disappointed in that. They're like, hey, you're just a jerk. I gave you like the world on a silver platter. I was your genie with 3 wishes, and you're just a douchebag. So he told Jack, you're never going to get into heaven. So the story goes that several centuries ago in Ireland, there was this drunk asshole named known like in the town called Stingy Jack. He was known throughout the land as a bit of a deceiver and trickster. On one fateful night, Satan himself overheard the tale of Jack's evil deeds and trickster tendencies. Unconvinced and envious of these rumors, the devil went out for himself to see whether or not Jack lived up to his reputation of being this vile dickhead and a douchebag. So, typical of Jack, he was drunk again and wandering through the countryside at night when he came upon a body on his cobblestone path. Remember, Jack doesn't like people touching his shit. So he was pissed off that this dude's just like kicking it on his path to his house. So Jack loved that path. He didn't want anyone to touch it. And he saw this eerie looking man grimacing on him, with like a grimacing kind of pissed off look on his face. Turned out to be the devil himself. Jack realized this was the end. Satan had finally come to collect his malevolent soul. Jack made a simple last request, though. He asked the devil to let him just drink some beer before he departed to hell. He said, this is the one thing I want. You can take me straight to hell. I just want some beer. So the devil just said, that's reasonable. I can make that happen. So Satan took Jack to a local pub, bought him a bunch of alcoholic beverages. Upon quenching that thirst that Jack had, Satan had to pay Jack asked Satan to pay the bar tab. He said, hey man, hey bro, I forgot my card at home. Can you cover my drinks for me? So Satan didn't carry any money, as you might imagine. So Jack convinced Satan to turn himself into a silver coin so they could pay the bartender and then just change back when the bartender wasn't looking. So Satan said, fuck it. I can do that. I'm pretty impressed by your unrelenting, nefarious tactics, Jack. So like the sly motherfucker that he is, Jack stuck the now transformed Satan coin into his pocket, which also contained a crucifix. The crucifix's present kept the devil from escaping his form as a coin. This coerced Satan to agree to Jack's demands. So now Jack is like, I've got you. You're mine, bitch. So in exchange for Satan's freedom, Jack just said, hey, can you spare my soul for like 10 years? Satan's like, if you just stop making me turn into a coin, yeah, this is cool. Just take that crucifix out of here. So Satan went away. So 10 years later, back to the exact date that Jack struck that deal with the devil, naturally found himself once again in the devil's presence. Jack happened upon Satan in the same setting as before, seemingly accepted that it was his time to go to hell for good now. Satan prepared to take him to hell, Jack asked if he could have one last apple to taste something sweet before spending eternity in hell. This dumbass Satan again agreed to this request. As Satan climbed up the branches of a nearby apple tree, Jack surrounded the base of it with crucifixes. So he's like, devil's scurrying up the trees, and he's like,
around.
just like circled in with crucifixes again. So he's like, fool me once, fool me twice. So Satan got real pissed off and mad about that. He'd been duped again. He got hoodwinked a second time and demanded his release. So Jack's like, all right, I got you where I want you. So just like he did before, he made a second demand. He told Satan, I don't want you to take my soul to hell, ever. I just want you to leave me alone. Devil didn't have any choice. He was stuck in that tree. So he agreed, and Jack removed the crucifixes, and Jack went his way and Satan went the other. However, eventually, the drinking took its toll on Jack, and he died. Stingy Jack's soul prepared to enter heaven through the gates of St. Peter, but St. Peter said, nah, dog. I told just God to get over here real quick. I need to call my manager because we were told to, we had you on a watch list in case you came by. So like God rolls up and he said, because of your sinful lifestyle and deceitfulness and drinking, you can't come in the front door. So he got thrown out the club. So Jack could not get into heaven. So Jack said, yeah, whatever. I don't want to spend eternity with a bunch of narcs and goody-goodies anyway. So Jack then went straight to the gates of hell and begged admission into the underworld. Satan, fulfilling his obligation, said, I can't take your soul, man. That was the deal that you made with me. So he sent Jack packing and gave him this fiery ember to light his way. Jack was doomed to roam the world between the planes of good and evil. Only an ember inside this hollowed turnip to light his way. This is the story about our modern day jack-o'-lanterns.
Yay, Stingy Jack.
I love that.
Interesting.
So how you doing, Matt?
Pays to be a drunkard.
It does. You always get your way in the end, it seems like.
Goddamn right.
What do you think about Stingy Jack, man?
I like Stingy Jack.
I do too. I kind of like his lifestyle of just he's doing things his way, and then he just gets the devil in his pocket.
I don't know. He's got crucifixes on him all the time. That's weird.
That's because he knows the devil's always following him, man.
Where's he keeping him?
In his pocket.
You got big pockets?
His jail pocket.
Whoa.
So why don't you tell
Let's
the people
continue
what you got in store?
The Halloween festivities. So I'm sure while you two were growing up, you heard stories of tainted candy.
Of course we did.
So razor blades in your Snickers bar, or just laced with cocaine, other types of
cocaine. I never understood that because drugs are expensive. Nobody's giving your kids drugs for free.
No. Maybe razor blades.
Maybe razor blades,
but not drugs.
Not drugs. No.
Anyway, there are some people that are also curious about this. So, found this on the History Channel. An article titled "How Americans Became Convinced Their Halloween Candy Was Poisoned." So we weren't the only individuals who were curious about this. There were also a pair of criminal justice experts that had heard these stories growing up, so they just decided, let's figure this out. Why are all these rumors happening? So they go into full-on research mode, and they're looking into anything any crime that's either Halloween treat related or just related to the holiday of Halloween at all. Do all their analysis, and it comes out and it concludes these stories are just urban legends. Like,
of course,
there's nothing that ties them with either like Halloween, the holiday at all. It's just people freaking out. And they realize this mostly happens around times when it's a lot of uncertainty in the world.
Probably in suburbia with all the Karens.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So like this year, apparently, it's rainbow fentanyl is the big scare. So that's what kids are going to be getting in their little baskets this year.
All right, kids, just remember, like, turn that for like the street value that it is. That way you can just, buy video games and stuff.
You might be able to afford a house.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Hopefully. Anyway, this usually happens during fearful times. So it peaked in the 1980s, during the Tylenol poisonings that
I
were going on.
remember that. I saw like a Netflix thing on that.
Yeah, so I guess at some time someone was going in, opening up Tylenol bottles in grocery stores, putting cyanide laced drugs on the inside, putting them back on the shelf, and these were getting sold.
People died.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So this crime is unsolved. No one knows who's been doing this, but what it did lead to is the child-proof containers that we are very familiar with. You know, the push down,
Push
pull.
down and twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those.
That was as a result of the Tylenol poisonings, as well as harsher penalties for tampering with drugs.
Do you imagine it's like a childproof thing and this dude's like 40 years old? It's like, do you think I don't know
He's
how to push
still
down
trying
and
to-
twist? Yeah.
Still trying to kill people and
He's still
can't
doing
figure it out.
Yeah, he's just like, how did they do this? I can't get in here.
I've been foiled.
I've been hoodwinked, man. I just killed my whole thing.
So, while most of these are urban legends, there are a few crimes that are Halloween related. So in 1964, a woman in New York was arrested for giving kids ant poison and dog biscuits. Frowned upon,
All
correct?
right. Yeah, I would say that's bad.
Yeah. She thought it was funny. Police did not agree with her sense of humor. Her defense was that she was giving them to kids she believed too old to be trick-or-treating.
Just said, you know what? You're just like 17 instead of 15 or whatever. Just I'm gonna kill you now because you shouldn't be begging for my candy.
Yeah.
What a savage.
So we got another one. This one was known as the Candyman murder. Sound cool?
Yeah, it does. I like this.
It's not that cool. I mean, it is
Okay.
cool. I mean, it's a cool name, but
Yeah.
in 1974, a Texas man gave cyanide-laced pixie sticks to 5 children. One of them being his own son.
Oh, dick move.
Yeah, his son was unfortunately the only one to die as a result. And upon investigation, the police realized that he had just recently taken out life insurance policies on all of his children.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that convenient?
it was. Yeah, so 10 years later, he was convicted, and as is the Texan way, executed via lethal injection.
Could you imagine it took like 10 years for them to go, you know what? You sure did buy these life insurance policies really close to when everybody died.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Texas. What are you doing? Be faster.
I agree. But the U.S. is not the only place, apparently, that these scares happen. In the 1980s, this is also a cool name, there was a Japanese crime ring called Mystery Man with 21 Faces.
Ooh, that's a cool name.
That sounds cool, right?
Yeah, it's like a villain from like DC Universe or something.
Yeah. So what they did was, I believe around Halloween time, they blackmailed a bunch of Japanese candy companies and told them, you pay us this giant ransom or we're going to poison all of your candy. So basically told me, like, we have an inside person. We're going to poison all this candy unless you give us money. Stores started pulling all of this candy off of the shelf, had it tested. None of it was poisoned.
So just foiled again.
But the Mystery Man with 21 Faces struck again a few months later, or a few years later.
Of course he did. He's got 21 faces. He can get away
He
with a lot
does.
of crime, man.
You goddamn right he can. This time it included tainted cookies in addition to the candy. So a lot of cyanide laced stuff again. Fortunately, nobody died from their poisonings,
Good.
but one man, the chief of police, who killed himself because he could not stop the crime.
Oh yeah? That's like the only death of all of this is like he just, I can't stop this. I'm just gonna off myself. This is your problem.
He
I'm
felt
out.
such shame over not being able to stop this that he killed himself. And despite over 125,000 investigations by the Japanese police, The perpetrators are still unknown.
That's amazing. You got away with it.
He got away with it.
That's like some like Manson stuff. He didn't actually kill anybody.
No,
He only
didn't actually
made
kill
he like
anybody.
drove someone crazy enough to kill themselves.
Yeah. And also got no ransom money.
It was all for just the
just-
police chief.
Yeah.
He drove the police chief nuts, and he's just like, that was my Royale with cheese right there. That's the trophy I'm taking.
Let's continue on with the best part of Halloween.
Do it.
The candy. So this is from candystore.com, which looks like a cool site. And they run a survey every year and gather data for Halloween candy. So from this year's data poll, it's people in the US will spend an average of $27.55 each on candy.
That's actually quite a lot.
It is.
Like that's probably spread out across the entire US, so that's probably compensating for like some people don't buy candy at all and some people buy like 6 bags.
Yeah,
Man, that's a lot.
that is a lot of candy.
It's a lot of candy.
30% of purchases of candy are now made online.
I wouldn't have guessed that for candy.
Me either.
Completely
It
honest.
just seems like some like I don't even.
It just seems like you
really
would go to the store kind of thing.
Yeah. Of all Halloween shopping, most is done within the first 2 weeks of October.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Some people are like, we all know those people that are like Halloween year round too. They're
Oh,
like,
for sure.
"June, let's go. 5 months more, or whatever.
Yeah. And over half of all parents, there's 2 parents on this podcast right now, so we'll take a poll. Over half of all parents stash Halloween candy to enjoy after the holiday. Have you done that?
No, sir. There's
I have not either. We
no
are
candy in the
trendsetters here.
house.
You guys are the 1%ers.
Wow. We are. I'm really proud of us.
I don't have kids, so I'm out
I'll
of
get
it.
a tasty like grain cookie thing.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah,
It is. They're actually vanilla flavored. Not too bad.
fair enough.
There it is. Well, updated figures. This year, setting a new record, consumers are predicted to spend $3.1 billion on candy.
That is so much money. I'd have to assume like there's probably like a third of the entire like year's candy sales are probably for like Halloween. It's probably
Right?
like an absurd number like that.
That seems like this figure seems like too
Easter.
much candy for the holiday.
That's a lot of candy. That's a lot. It's billion with a B.
I want to see what $3.1 billion of candy looks like.
Yeah, I do too.
Just in a pile.
Can we just like fill up an ocean? Like not an ocean, but like a lake, just fill it up. I feel like this is what $3 billion worth of candy looks
I
like.
just want a Scrooge McDuck in it.
You're gonna jump off of it and do like there was a Family Guy bit where Peter got super rich and he Scrooge McDucked it and he just like hit the coins and he like broke his body. He's like, it's not a liquid, it's a solid. Yeah, that's what I'm picturing, but just with candy.
That is exactly what I do. Are you ready? You know what's up next.
It's a game, isn't it?
You goddamn right, it's a game. So for you, I have the top 10 Halloween candies in the US as surveyed in the year of our Lord, the Jesus, 2022. As in tradition, 4 strikes.
4 strikes for a top 10.
4 strikes for a top 10. Have at it, sir.
All right, so I feel like I might do decent on this. So I think I'm gonna shoot for the popular ones first. I'm gonna go with a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Number 1
course
on
it
the
is.
board.
You gotta go. Like you shoot for the king right there. Is that your number 1? You think?
No, mine is on the list.
Okay, we can
But
we can talk about
Yeah,
that.
we'll go.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a Snickers.
The Snickers, number 8 on the list.
2 for 2. Skittles.
Number 2.
Oh yeah, it is.
Good start.
Oh, let's go. I'm gonna go with trying to think of another really popular
And
one.
also, may I interject? This is Halloween candies.
Yes.
Okay.
Understood. Starburst.
Number 4.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's go M&Ms.
Number 3.
Oh, I'm just picking these
You're
off.
crushing it. You are crushing it.
Let's go with a 3 Musketeers.
That is your first strike, sir.
Oh, I always feel like you got like the bite-sized ones
There
like, all
are
the time.
there are some weird ones on here.
Okay.
I don't think
so-
you're gonna get all 10, but if you
Okay.
do,
And these are like there's no trash on here, so it's top 10. So there's no like weird stuff on there, like a box of raisins, right? 'Cause there was always
There's
that
no
shit.
box
I
of
was like-
raisins. There's
that would've been
there's
so
some
bad.
that I would not consider upper echelon
Okay.
candy.
Let's go with a Tootsie Roll.
I'll give you that one. Number 9 is Tootsie Pops.
Okay. Fair enough. I knew there was a Tootsie in there somewhere.
Yeah.
What do I have left? What numbers?
You have 5, 6, 7, and 10.
So I'm missing the whole meat of this thing. 5, 6, 7, and 10. I guess Snickers. I guess Three Musketeers. What about Milky Way?
A Milky Way is strike 2.
Ooh, okay. Just figured I'd go for the chocolate bar there.
That's a good one.
Let's go with a Jolly Ranchers.
No Jolly Ranchers. That is strike 3.
I thought that was 4. No.
3.
No. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go with Sugar Daddy.
And no Sugar Daddies.
Oh
is
man,
strike
they
4.
were always in those little trick-or-treating bags that you came home with.
All right, so I guess I'll start from the top because you got all those. Number 1 was Reese's Cups. 2 was Skittles. 3 M&Ms. 4 Starburst. Here's the first one I don't think you would have got.
Okay.
Number 5 was Hot Tamales.
Oh, that's a good one. I do love hot
It's a
tamales.
good one. Number 6 was my personal favorite, the Sour Patch Kid.
Oh, the Sour Patch Kids are great, man. That's the theater movie candy that I
love
always
them.
get.
Yep.
Every
Number
time.
7, Hershey Kisses.
I was gonna guess that, and I felt like deep down it feels like a Christmas chocolate. I associate like Hershey Kisses more with Christmas than I do Halloween.
I do too because I like the white chocolate peppermint ones.
Oh, those are good.
Those are so good.
Yeah, those are dank.
All right. Number 8, the Snickers. 9, Tootsie Pops, and number 10, your favorite candy, the candy corn.
Oh no. I actively avoided saying that because everybody in America, other than producer Moo over here, hates candy corn.
And our friend Enzo also loves candy corn.
Really? He's a sick son of a.
Yo, Smarties are pretty bomb during this time of year too.
I do like Smarties,
That's true.
but they're not in the top 10 for me. That's like a top 20 kind of thing.
All right. I also, from candystore.com, have some regional specific. I have the top 3 from our 3 states.
I like this.
So, producer Moo, I'll let you go first. Let's guess the top 3 Halloween candies from the state of Nevada.
Probably $100,000. I don't know. They like money over here.
I love the
great-
logic.
Great guess, but incorrect. I guess I'll give you 2 guesses to get one of them.
I'm gonna
Seems
go
fair.
stay in the same realm. Let's do a Payday.
I knew you were going to say Payday, and that's incorrect.
Money.
Let's see. Number 3 is Hershey Kisses. Number 2 is the Hershey Mini Bars. And number 1 is Hot Tamales.
That makes. I like the hot tamales, but the Hershey's. I'm with Mount. I think that's more of a Christmas
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah. All right. Ted Lasso. Top 3 Halloween candies in the state of California.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Number 1.
Gotta be. I'm going Skittles.
Number 3.
Ooh, number 2. All right, let's go with Snickers.
It is not Snickers.
Okay, I get one more guess, right?
One more guess.
Okay, let's go with M&M's.
It is M&M's. That
Nailed
is the
it.
top 3.
Hell yeah.
California, you basic bitch.
Super.
Hey man, if there's one thing we do, it's be basic about candy.
And I gotta
have-
say,
have vegans.
the top 3 in Texas give me hope. There is no way that these can align with me more closely. It gives me hope that there are good people here. Or it could just be that the people that answered this survey are the few of us that can read in this state.
there's only a couple of you there.
That's right, Texas. I said it. Don't have me.
Don't hold back.
All right, our number 1 is the Starburst. Number 2, Reese's Cups, and number 3, the Sour Patch Kid.
That's a solid top 3.
It's a good top 3.
I think that's the best of the 3 top 3s that we did.
I'm not mad at it.
I wouldn't be either.
There's hope.
Yeah.
There's hope.
Well, like
USA.
for like the dozen of you.
Yeah. That's fine.
That's okay. It's a very exclusive club you guys belong to there.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it.
Yeah.
That was our Halloween episode.
Hope you liked it.
We just kind of fired through it.
We did. We didn't want this thing to be we didn't want to drag it out
Yeah.
too long.
Just a little bonus treat. Just a reason to get kind of dressed up.
Yeah. I mean, hey man, when's the last time you put a Halloween costume on? Oh, that's right. You're a dad. You do trick-or-treating. Probably last year.
I have not done trick-or-treating yet.
Oh,
I'm kind of
so-
against it these days. 'Cause I feel like people are gonna put drugs in my kids' candy and stuff.
Just go to the store and just be like, here, kid, I
Here-
bought you an entire bag
here-
of candy just for you.
Here is the truth. If you're trick-or-treating and you come upon a suspicious looking house and they may be giving you cocaine or rainbow fentanyl, you just turn the other way. You run faster, you jump higher, you frolic harder.
Okay, bye.